In today's video, we're doing all new Dollar Tree home hacks. Dollar Tree is now carrying these pump lids so we can make our own soap containers with our mason jars. Do you guys remember when I used to make these? I would put a hole in the middle of the mason jar and then use a pump from another hand soap. Well, now it's even easier. This is only $1.25, so you're going to need this and a mason jar. These are all the components that come inside. Remove the lid from your mason jar and fill it with your favorite hand soap. So place the pump into the lid. This little piece goes behind here, and then you're just gonna tighten it and place it onto your mason jar. How cool is this? I hope you guys can find these at Dollar Tree. I found a handheld bag sealer at Dollar Tree for just $1.25. Let's see if it works. This is what it looks like. You put in 2 AA batteries. The instructions say that you want to hold it down for 15 to 20 seconds to let it preheat. Let's see if I can reseal this bag. Now, I'm gonna trim it just a little bit. This has been preheating. I'm just gonna close up the bag and run it along the edge. That totally worked, you guys. That closed this bag. These little devices sell for so much more on Amazon. You can pick it up now at Dollar Tree. This is a great time of year to clean out your lime scale on your faucets or your shower heads. It's really easy to do. You're just gonna need 3 things. You need a baggie, a rubber band, and some vinegar. So you're gonna fill up your baggie with vinegar. You don't wanna put too much. Now I'm just going to place this around my faucet, making sure the bottom edge of my faucet is covered. I'll grab it up here, and then my rubber band I'm gonna use to tightly secure it in place. Let this sit overnight and then take it off in the morning, and then your faucet should be running great. Do you have a pair of these kitchen scissors? These are so great to use on so many different things. You can easily slice through your quesadillas or even cut up your pizza. They really do so much more. I was able to cut my pancakes up, and you can also slice cheese. I will put a link to these down in the description box below. I literally use them every day in my kitchen. If you like the look of tinted amber glass that they have on Anthropologie's website, let me show you an easy DIY that you can do to achieve that look with just Dollar Tree vases. Walmart has a product out that I have not seen before. It's a gel food coloring, but it's in neutral colors. So there's a blue, a white, a black, and a brown. We're gonna be using this, and the 2 colors we're gonna be using are the dark blue and the brown. You're also going to need some Mod Podge. Make sure you get the yellow one, which is the matte Mod Podge. This is usually the one that I use. So in 2 bowls, I'm gonna add some Mod Podge, and then I'm also going to add in my food coloring to each of my bowls. Figure out which glasses you want to use from Dollar Tree. Honestly, these were ones that were sitting in my craft room, and I have a collection of 5. I think I'm gonna do 3 in the blue color, and then I'm gonna do 2 in the brown color. And if some of them don't work, I'll just do 3 together. So I'm gonna start by pouring a little bit of the blue color into my vase. Okay, I'm gonna put some parchment paper down just to make sure I don't get it everywhere. So I'm gonna pour a little bit of the blue into my vase. And then what you're gonna do is just spin it around until it's completely covered. All right, so now I'm gonna put it upside down on my tray and let it continue to drain. I'm gonna do the rest of the vases the same way. So I have all the blue containers sitting. I'm gonna move them around so that they continue to drip. I'll do that for about an hour. I am going to make these brown, and then I'll place them on this sheet. Now we're gonna wait until all the excess paint is dripped out, and then we'll go on to baking. So these have been sitting for about an hour. I've been moving them around, as you can see here, so that it drips out all of the paint. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick them up and put them on another piece of parchment paper. Now you wanna flip them right side up and just place them over on the parchment paper. This paper I'm gonna get rid of. We're gonna do the same thing with the brown ones. Now, as they've been dripping, they're kind of collecting paint up here. So before I bake them, I think what I want to do is just kind of run off that excess paint and try to pull it off. Definitely doesn't have to be perfect. And I had a little bit of paint here. Now I'm gonna line this baking sheet again with a new sheet of parchment paper. When you bake these in the oven, you want them to be right side up. So I'm going to again kind of wipe down the top of this just to get off any excess that's already kind of dried. And then I'll place that on my tray. So all of these are gonna go in the oven at 200 degrees. It's gonna depend on how long it takes. Probably gonna take at least an hour for these to bake. I would set your timer for an hour and then check it after that. So they've been in here about an hour and a half. I'm gonna pull them out now. I think they are done. Let these cool completely before you style them. Overall, I think they turned out pretty good. They're not perfect. They definitely have some areas that don't look perfect, but I think this is a fun technique to create a unique color on your vases. If you have trouble opening jars, you need this electric jar opener. That was so easy. Now it doesn't have to charge. It takes 2 AA batteries. You just place it on any jar and press the button to start. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Comment the word of the day, which is hacks. Do you remember when I did the DIY on this Dollar Tree print? I wanted it to look more like an oil painting. So I removed all the contents, then I used Mod Podge and I just painted it on, crisscrossing my strokes back and forth, let that dry and put it back into the frame. I think it looks great. It definitely makes it look more realistic. But I have a hack I wanna show you that you can do with this print or any other prints. So you need some sort of basket that will fit behind your print. This is a basket that I picked up at the thrift store, but you could use any basket. You could also use anything from Dollar Tree. So what I want to do is make an organization that I can store office supplies that's out of the way and you don't see. So I'm going to put 2 command strips on the front of my basket. I like using this size of command strips. They're the largest ones, but honestly, they work really well. I always have these on hand because I never know what I need to attach or hang up. So just pull off one side and you're gonna place it onto the front of your container. Now this probably would work with just one, but I'm gonna add an additional one down here. So pull it apart, clasp it together, pull off one side and stick it to your container. All right, now what you're gonna do is take your print and you're gonna line it up so you cannot see the basket behind. Okay, once you're happy with where you're at, you're just gonna kind of press it onto those command strips. Now from the front, all you can see is a picture, but if you turn it around to the back, you have a nice storage container. I'm gonna add in my extra notebooks back here. I'll push it off to the side and you can't even see what's behind there. You're putting in your trash bags all wrong. Save yourself a little bit of time and instead of just putting on one trash bag, put on multiples. That way, when your trash gets filled up, you can pull it out and you'll have a trash bag ready to go. To save even more time, put your roll of trash bags at the bottom of your can. You may not know this, but you need to clean out your Stanley lid. And I've been seeing all these fancy cleaners for your water bottles on Amazon. And I thought, you know what? An easier option would be to try denture cleaner. That's what we're gonna do today. Now, you may not know that you can actually pop off this top piece to your Stanley cup. Let me show you how. So on the bottom side of your lid, you're going to pull these and pop it out. Okay, so you can see, now some people get it really moldy here, kind of gross, but we definitely want to clean this. You can get a large pack of these. This has 84 tablets at so many different stores. I'm gonna put one of the denture cleaners into a bowl and fill it with water. Now I'm gonna place both of these pieces in for 5 minutes. All right, these have been sitting for 5 minutes. To get them extra clean, I'm gonna use my $3 Amazon brush cleaner to just clean them up and then it'll be ready to go. I I would love to know what trick you use to remove paint from your hand. I was just painting all of those containers, so I have blue paint all over my hands. I heard that if you mix olive oil and a little bit of dish soap on your hands, it will easily remove any paint. Let's try it and see if it works. So what you're supposed to do is put olive oil all over your hands and then add a little bit of dish soap whenever you're washing them. Let's see if it works. So I have paint here on my fingers. Let's see, I got a little bit there. So we're just gonna wash my hands. So we'll start with the olive oil all over. Okay, now let's put on the dish soap. Kind of having to scrape the paint off of this hand. Okay, I mean, honestly, it kind of worked. I have to say I was a little skeptical, but once I rinsed it off, all the paint was gone. I think if your hands are covered in paint and you're having trouble removing it, try this hack. I have tried to paint with coffee, stain with it in the past, and honestly, I haven't been 100% successful. But the ones I've used in the past have been ground coffee, and I don't think they work as well as instant coffee. So I really wanted to try to use the instant coffee to see if we could use it for painting. And if it works for this, it's gonna be great to use in so many of our crafts. So you wanna get this brand of coffee. Next, I have 3 bowls down here, and I'm gonna put a scoop in each of my bowls. So I wanna have a dark, medium, and light stain. So to do that, I'm gonna add in different amounts of water. So in my first bowl, I'm just gonna add in 1 scoop of water. This is gonna be my darkest color. In this one, I'm going to add in 3 scoops of water. And then over here, I'll do probably 5. And you can always adjust this. Then I'm gonna mix it together. Okay, I think on my lighter one, I'm gonna go with a little bit more water. So I ended up adding quite a bit more water to my lightest one. Now, what paper can you use? Honestly, you can use any paper you like. I have this paper I love off of Amazon. It's a handmade paper. It has a rough edge. You can get it in a pack off of Amazon. I will link it for you. This is a great base for our stain. So we're gonna start by making a simple landscape. So you wanna start with your lightest paint first, and then you're gonna build your way up to your darker paints. With about 3/4 of my page, I'm gonna paint it in my lightest stain using about a 1-inch paintbrush. So dip it in your stain color, and then I want to create kind of a scalloped edge across the top. And I'm just going to repeat that, trying to make the color pretty consistent. Now this is gonna dry pretty quickly, so you can let it air dry, or if you wanna speed it up, use your hair dryer. All right, I think I'm gonna lay down some parchment paper because of course I'm painting on my countertop. I'm gonna add on another layer of our medium stain. Okay, let's blow dry that layer. So on the bottom 4th, we're gonna add in our deepest color where we only mixed about a scoop of water. Okay, again, we are going to blow dry. I love how this turned out. This coffee works perfect to stain this paper. Now, I do need to try it out a little bit further because I'm thinking I could put this in a frame, but I want to try it on a canvas. Would it work on that? Will it work on wood? So you'll definitely be seeing this in future DIYs. You guys are not gonna believe what I found at Dollar Tree. So the last time I was shopping there, I came across this item. It's a USB mini vacuum. Let me show you how tiny this is. It's so tiny and so cute. It has a cord and a USB charger on the end. So to use it, you're gonna have to plug it into a USB port. Now, I'm kind of skeptical whether or not this is gonna work, so we're gonna try it out together. I'm gonna plug it into the side of my laptop. I'm gonna plug it in over here. Now, I put a few crumbs here just to see if it would pick it up. It's got 2 buttons on here. This pops off the top portion, and then this turns it on. All right, let's try it out. Oh. Okay, let's see. It definitely picked up the crumbs, but Okay, here's the problem when you open it, they're not really holding them in place. So if you're gonna open this to empty it, I'd probably open it over a trash can just because they're probably gonna fall out the top. This did pick up a few crumbs. So if you were wanting a tiny little vacuum to put on your desktop, this may work, but I think I need something a little bit more heavy duty. So this would be a fail for me. I found the coolest shrinking paper set off of Amazon. You guys are gonna love this. So it comes with everything you need to make small keychains or earrings or anything really small, letters. So in your pack, you're going to get paper that looks like this. It's a film paper. It also comes with things like a hole punch, you get scissors, you get the keychains, there's some lanyards, even a pair of tweezers. And then you're also going to get some colored pencils. So you can draw anything you want on here, or if you want to make it even easier, you can trace an image and then you're going to bake it and it's going to make it a lot smaller. So I have two pictures, really simple. I have a volleyball because my girls play volleyball, and I have a flower. So I'm going to trace those onto this paper. There's two sides. There's like a shiny side and more of a matte side. You want to trace on the matte side. All right, so I'm going to start by tracing my flower and just use any colors that you want. All right, now we're gonna outline our petals in pink. All right, I have my flower done. Now I'm gonna put a volleyball over on the other side. All right, now I'm gonna write my daughter's name on top of the volleyball. Next, I'm going to cut these out, but I need to leave a little bit of an area where I can hole punch for the keychain. And this is a little tricky because these do shrink down, so you have to kind of be careful with it. So I'm just gonna rough cut around the flower and the volleyball. I'm gonna leave this area right here open, and that's where I'm going to put the hole. Let's just do that right now. All right, I'm gonna make the hole punch right here. All right, let's cut out the volleyball. I'm gonna place both of these on a baking sheet, and I'm gonna set my oven at 325. It only takes a minute or two, and what's gonna happen is they're going to curl up, and then as they go back down, that's when they're done. So you wanna wait until after they curl up and go back down, and then you wanna pull them out of the oven. Okay, they laid back down, so I'm gonna pull them out. You guys have to see how cool these are. They're so much smaller now. Now you're gonna let these cool for 5 minutes. Our keychains are completely cool. You guys, these are so cool. They're like a hard plastic now. I don't know how this works, but it's really neat. Now all I have to do is add in the keychain. Now to put on these keychains, you're gonna need to use the tweezers that come in the pack, and you're going to take one of the ends, pull it apart, and then put it through the hole where you hole punched, and then use those tweezers to close it back. And do that for both of your keychains. I think these are adorable. Let me show you how to DIY a bowl with just 2 items. You're gonna need nautical rope. I will link to it down below in the description box, and Mod Podge. You can use any bowl that you have. This was one I had in my pantry. Take your bowl and flip it upside down. Now to protect your bowl, you wanna cover it with saran wrap. Now that the bowl's protected, I'm gonna start by just painting on the Mod Podge all over the saran wrap. I'm going to go down to about right here. Just put a good layer on the entire bowl. Now we're gonna add on the nautical rope. We're gonna start in the center and just start winding it around. All right, so I'm going to cut it off. I'm happy with where it's ending. Now what I wanna do is I'm just going to press it all down. Then I'm gonna go across, and then I need to add a little bit more Mod Podge here. Then I'm gonna do a thick layer of Mod Podge around the top of my entire tray. Now, as you're adding on this outer layer of Mod Podge, just press it down and make sure you don't have any nautical rope that's sticking up. It's completely coated. Now we just have to wait for it to dry. So I let this sit for a couple of hours, and it's probably not completely dry yet, but I want to remove the saran wrap. It's pretty dry on the outside, so I'm going to pull it off of my bowl. What I want to do is just pull back the saran wrap and try not to like mess it up or get any saran wrap stuck to it. So after I removed the saran wrap, a lot of it got stuck on here. I'm trying to like peel it off, but it's not looking great inside. So my solution would be either to scrap it or try something else. So I think what I'm gonna do is do another layer of the nautical rope inside, but instead of using the glue, I think the glue looks great on the outside, but instead of using the Mod Podge glue, I'm just gonna use hot glue. All right, so I finally got the inside done. I think it looks great now. I think if I was to do this project again, I'm gonna not use the Mod Podge and just use my glue gun. My new favorite gadget for cleaning has been this steam cleaner. I bought it really affordably off of Amazon, and I love to deep clean different areas. Today we're gonna tackle around my kitchen sink, my windows, my cabinets, and see if we can get them looking better. I really wanna get around the edge and any harsh spots that are on my sink. I will put a link to my steam cleaner down below. If you want to take your salad with you on the go, try this next hack. So you're going to need a bowl and your salad mix. Place your salad mix into the container. Next, you're gonna add a layer of press and seal or saran wrap. Then just press it down a little bit in the middle and then wrap it around the edge. Add in your favorite dressing in the middle. Place on your lid, and it's ready to transport. This is gonna help to keep your salad fresh until you wanna eat it. I feel like in all of these hacks videos, I like doing some kind of dough or clay. In the fall, I was doing cinnamon pumpkins. Then I did cinnamon ornaments in December. They were really fun. But in today's video, I wanted to try to make my own clay. Now this could completely fail, but let's try it out. You're just gonna need 3 ingredients. You need cornstarch, baking soda, and water. You probably already have those on hand. So you're gonna start by putting in a cup of cornstarch into a pot that you can use on the stove. I'm gonna do a half a cup of baking soda. I'm gonna add in about 3/4 of a cup of water and mix that together. Now place it on the burner on low to medium heat. Now that it's on the heat, you wanna mix it around until it's a thicker consistency. It's not gonna take too long. It's starting to boil, starting to get some lumps formed, so it's almost there. You don't wanna go too long. Once it kind of all comes together, you wanna remove it from the heat. It's almost to that consistency. I think it's good. We're gonna remove it from the heat because you do not wanna overburn it. So this is what you want it to look like. Now we have to let this cool down. So I'm gonna place it on a cookie sheet. I just have a little bit of parchment paper down. Next, you just want to flatten it out a little bit so it has a chance to cool. I'm going to set this aside for 30 minutes. Oh, that's not good. I got this paper at Dollar Tree and I thought to be really cute, I would use it for this project, but it stained my clay. It's like a fun little pattern here. So I'm gonna put this out on regular paper. I'm gonna try to put it together because that's what you're supposed to do at this point. And then we'll see, maybe I'll add some food coloring to it. We're gonna try to make this work. If you guys know anything about my track record with clay, this checks out that I'm having issues. So I'm gonna try to form the dough together. It's still a little bit crumbly, so I'm gonna try to form it together the best I can. This is what I have it looking like so far. I feel like the blue color kind of blended together. It's a little bit crumbly still, but I'm gonna try to roll it out and see what it looks like. So I'm trying to roll this out and it's definitely crumbly. I'm not sure where I went wrong in this recipe. So if you guys have any recommendations for me, leave them down in the comments. But I guess this one's just another fail in my DIY life of making clay. Let me know what you're gonna be trying from today's video. I love knowing your opinion, and make sure you subscribe because I wanna see you back here, and I'll see you in our next one. Bye.